Hello, Rory here from Southwest Cooling Co. I'm an AC engineer in the UK. I started this channel just to show what it's like to be an AC engineer in the UK, a brand new AC engineer in the UK, actually, which is one of the main reasons why I started this channel. When I was learning, doing my F-gas, that sort of thing, there was nowhere online that I could reference, no YouTube videos that I could watch that would really show sort of what it's like to be an engineer in the UK. And that, as sort of 2024, that's one of the things that people look to. They go on YouTube, they try and find videos to show how things are done, how best to get into the industry, and so forth. So this is going to be a series to sort of show exactly what it's like to be in my position, not having been an AC engineer before. So I've really gone in off the deep end on my own. I've got help here and there from some people in the industry, which I'll talk about. Today's video is just going to be about me in my van. I've had this now for coming up to 4 weeks now. Did all the racking myself, bought all my tools, and I'm on the road now to sort of getting my own jobs. I've had a few jobs, one install and a couple of breakdowns that have been successful so far. I'll talk you through all of those. So yeah, come along with me for the ride and let's get into it. So the actual tools that you're going to need to start this, I was very lucky that WSM Fasteners is a sort of hardware store down in Weston-super-Mare. I'm from Bristol. My friend's family own that business, so he did me a very good deal on all my tools. Almost too helpful because I was getting such great deals. I was buying tools left, right, and centre, which I didn't really need some of them, and I'll go through those in a moment. We'll go through some of the hand tools first. So I've got 2 bags. That bag was actually given to me for free. It's a £100 bag. They're quite expensive, and I got given that because with AC1, which is a distributor in the UK of AC equipment, wholesaler, that sort of thing, I did a next day delivery with them, and it didn't come next day, and I wasn't even that upset about it. I just said, sort of, where is it? And they said, oh, to say sorry, we're going to send you a goodie bag. Amazing. Really helpful, because when you're up and down ladders and you're like me and you forget your tools, it is a nightmare having to go back down to pick up an adjustable that you forgot. You're back at the top. You need something else, back down. So that you just hook it onto the top of the ladder, and you're aware you can do all of your install things without having to worry, without having to go back down. So that is a godsend. So I usually take both of these with me, sort of around the houses, the job sites that I'm on, because it just is so handy to have all your tools with you as you're going around. First of all, let's get this one out. In this one, I just keep some tapes, quite handy to use when you're doing your pipe work on the evaporator. It's good to tape those up and just put those through the hole. So I've got some tape down there. When you're putting your bracket up on the wall, I've got this Marksman spray, so really nice and easy, and then you can drill perfectly where you need to be. Got some gloves just here. These are purely just gloves to keep my hands warm, really. I don't use them for any other thing. And I've got some black gloves up here as well, just to keep things nice and clean. A variety of pliers, grips, needle nose there. Some Allen keys, hex keys, whatever you want to call them. As an AC installer, I only use that one. So I've got all of those for anything else. That's just for, because the units come pre-charged. All you need to do, once you've done all your vacuuming and pressure testing, just to charge your units, all you need to do is turn that, and it lets the refrigerant into the lines. So that's really all you need for those. Got a few rags in there. This is my micron gauge. So always to the manufacturer specifications, but if not, 2000 microns and below. Really good bit of kit. I didn't have this when I first started, and I just left my vacuum on for about an hour just to make sure. So that is a handy bit of kit. They're quite expensive. I think this one was about 150 quid, but I would definitely recommend getting a micron gauge. What else in here? So I've got some brushes just to clean off condenser fans and sort of the coils, evaporator coils, that sort of thing. When you're doing your pipe work, it's good to have one of these in there. This is going to allow you to sort of get rid of any burrs on your pipe work. And then got this as well. What's this called? A reamer? Something like that. Basically, when you cut your pipe, you put this in and you go around like that, and it just gets any burrs or anything like that off of the pipe work, just to make sure it's all nice and clean. Really handy bit of kit there. It costs about £5 on Amazon, so definitely get one of those. Other bits in here, if I can open it. This is just a bit set. I keep one in here, one in there, just so I'm always with different types of bits. And there you go, I'll show you now. Just like that. So really nice and handy. Don't know how long it's going to stay like this, but you know, we can always hope. I'm really trying to keep it all nice and tidy, but we'll see how long that lasts. One of these, I didn't actually know what one of these is. It's for when you're hanging the evaporator on the inside of the wall, you use, I don't even know what they're called. Basically, you put them in the wall, you put that on the end, squeeze it in, and it flares behind the drywall. We don't call it drywall in this country. Plasterboard, there we go. It flares behind there, and then you can drill in. I used to just use a drill to flare it, and you shouldn't do that because it messes it up. And so this was, I think, about £10. So definitely get one of those. I got a quick square in there and a hammer. That's pretty much all I carry in there. And then I also carry my flaring and swaging tool. Definitely need one of these. If you're doing any pipe work on AC systems, they come with flare nuts already. So all you have to do is measure out your coil, your copper tube. It's in a coil, but then you straighten it out, measure it out, cut it off, put your flare nut on, and then flare the end. And then all you have to do is fit it to the other end of the pipe work, so the evaporator coming out the wall. Fit it there, nip it up. You don't have to wring its neck, just nip it up, because you'll test it in your pressure test anyway for leaks and that sort of thing. And then you're away. Obviously, don't ever forget to put that flare nut on, otherwise you have to start again, cut it off, then flare it again. It's a bit of a nightmare, so always remember to put the flare nut on first. So that's in that bag there. In this bag here. So this is the one that's got all of the tools, just because it's smaller, easy to carry. I can take it up to the top of the ladder with me. Pencil, tape measure. In here I've got some, I think they're called bullet connectors, for all the electrical wiring that I'm going to be doing. One of these, really handy, so it strips the wires at the top, it crimps, and it's got a wire cutter on it as well. Use that all the time. Very handy bit of kit that. I definitely recommend getting one of those. Got another rag in there just in case, just to clean everything up as I go along. Some tapes on the side, handy. I don't know where my other one is actually, but having adjustables is your best tool in an AC toolkit. Having two, so when you're tightening up your flare nuts, you have one which is the solid one, so that doesn't move, and then use your other one on the flare nut to tighten it up nice and tight. If you don't have that and you just tighten it up, it's very easy to twist the pipes. So definitely have two. One stays still, one tightens up. Very basic pipe cutter, but it's sharp and it works. You don't need anything fancy. A must. Otherwise, how are you going to cut your pipes? A service wrench. This isn't really for domestic AC installs. You don't need these. This is for when you have, when you do sort of other AC stuff. So I was at a reefer container freezer the other day, So these go on the service valves. You half seat them, or back seat them, front seat them. You'll learn all of that. And then you can put your gauges on the Schrader valves, and then that means that the refrigerant or the OFN can reach your gauges. If you don't mid-seat them, they'll be closed. So simple as that. No idea what these are called. Can you tell I'm new to the game? I'm going to call these grips. Vice grips. Yeah, vice grips. Really handy as well. And then a spirit level. Self-explanatory, but you definitely need it. In the back, and then that's the hook there that you can put on your ladder. Don't think I've got anything in that one. Nope. And in the back here, it's got a space actually for this. If I can get it off. So that actually can go in there, but I just leave it in my van because I use the back as a pocket. That's not going to go up easily. In the back here, just got more the second bit set, like I said, and a multimeter, some glasses, safety glasses, and some soldering wire. But I don't have a soldering gun. I need to get one of those because I needed one the other day when I was soldering a fuse onto a PCB. Could have got a whole new fuse board, but didn't need it. Soldered it with an engineer friend of mine and saved the customer 250 quid, something like that. So that was really handy. Other bits in here, just got wrenches, spanners, whatever you want to call them, all different sizes, handy to have. Okay, that is everything of my sort of hand tools I carry into the jobs with me. As you can see at the back of the van here, I've got my OFN tank. You need this for strength and leak testing, pressure testing, that sort of stuff. You'll learn how to use that, or I'll show you how to use that on some jobs. Quite easy bit of kit to use. It looks a bit scary because it's all pressurized, but it is really quite easy. I've got my screwdriver sets over there, which I sort of pick out at the start of a job, put them in the bag, and go that way. The racking, if you can't see, was made by me. I did it in about a day with my girlfriend. I did it here actually. It's not pretty, but it doesn't move. It's pretty solid and it does a job. So I am pretty proud of it. If you can see down there, the cuts are really bad, but like I said, it does a job. I'm happy with it. Got the ratchet straps attached to it, which act as sort of shelf stoppers, so the bits don't fly out everywhere, which is really handy. At the top, I've got some more rags. I've got my longer, what are they called? Spirit levels. Thank you. Some blue roll, some lagging. I don't use lagging that often because I buy my copper pipe pre-insulated, which just makes things 1,000 times easier. I don't know if I'm lazy or what, but it just is easier. And that way, you know, it's going to be long lasting because the insulation they use on them is really sort of thick and rugged as well. So when you're pushing it through the walls and that sort of thing, you've got no worries about it splitting or coming off. I've got my brazing kit. I didn't really braze that often. I know I am new to the job, but I try and stay away from it. There will be occasions when I need to braze, so I have the kit ready for me when I do it. But like I said at the start, I just use the flare nuts, and if you do them correct, it's not going to go wrong. So I got my brazing kit there, heat resistant gloves, brazing rods, and a heat mat just in case if I need to use it. This here is my stud finder. I use it every time I do an install. I don't know how accurate it is. I use it just to triple check, and if I'm If it beeps, I'll move where I'm putting the install, which is really tricky sometimes. Over here, I have my core bits. So I would definitely buy those things. They're quite expensive. The laser liner was over £100. The laser liner, multi-scanner, over 100 quid. I would definitely suggest to use it and buy it. This is a core set, £140 I think this was. As you can see, all brand new apart from this one. So this is the only one you use to get your holes in the inside and outside walls to pass your pipes through. So you can buy just this one, but then you also don't get the sort of extension kits with it. So it's up to you. I would suggest to just buy the kit because it's cost effective that way. It's more expensive, but it's cost effective because you get that one and all the other bits for 100 and something. I think it's £120 actually. Whereas if you buy them just on their own, they're like £40 each. So it is cost effective. Funny story with that, not a funny story actually, a really upsetting story, is that I bought a battery powered SDS to get through my first install. What a mistake that was. Do not buy a battery powered SDS if you're doing sort of core drilling. Get a corded one, which I found out, and I did buy one, got through the wall in about 5 minutes, whereas with that one, I was at the top of a ladder drilling, I'm not joking, for about 45 minutes. It was a nightmare. So that was definitely a mistake that I will not make again. I've actually now given that to my brother as well, so I just got rid of that battery powered SDS. He's a tiler, so he'll use it. Got some wipes, got a bottle there for my leak testing, so just fill that up with sort of washing up liquid and you can test for leaks quite easily. In here, oh, that's some trunking, I'll go through that in a minute. This is like a actual drill bit set. This is not the screwdriver set, if that makes sense. If I can get it open. So this just has other different types of drill bits in it if I need it, that sort of thing. I really struggle with the names sometimes. Like, is that a drill bit or are the other bits drill bit? I don't know. Doesn't matter. I've got my scales. These are actually given to me, so this is a great bit of kit. Definitely something you need. Also quite expensive, but these are brand new and they were given to me by my other engineer friend that sort of got me started. So really appreciative of that. So that's what you'll use when you are taking refrigerant out or into a system. So you can just record what you're doing at all times and then charge accordingly. These are really good. So these are literally just thick plastic bendable bending tubes. So when you're bending your copper, if you just bend it like that, you're likely to kink it. So you send one of these down the end and then you can bend it nice without it kinking or twisting or doing whatever. So that's really handy. They're about 40 quid. I think I bought these for about 20 quid on eBay. So definitely something that you should pick up as your sort of first set of tools as an AC engineer. Ear defenders, also very important if you're using the core drills. That's pretty much it for this end of the van. Obviously I've got my ladders here. These yellow steps are perfect, just what you need. Really advise those. They're £120 I think. This set of ladder, whatever it is, not the best. I cheaped out basically, and when you're at the full extent of the ladder, it's really unstable and it bends. You're better off spending a little bit more money. I think I bought these for 150 quid. You're better off spending more money and getting a more sturdy set, because you're going to feel so much more safer when you're at the top of the ladder than using these. I think they're just sort of cheap aluminium and they bend. So definitely don't cheap out on that. yeah, I think that's pretty much everything back here. Obviously, I've got this box here and this one here. This is the trunking that I use. So it's in Albadenko, which is the brand name. This is 75 mil. I would advise getting 100 mil just because it gives you that little bit more wiggle room if you haven't bent your copper pipes perfectly. So this sort of is a wall cap, so it goes over the top where the evaporator comes out and then down, and then this is the straight pipe. I buy these from AC1 just because they're much cheaper. That's 10 meters of trunking, cost me about 100 quid ex VAT. Whereas some other aircon places, you can get 2 meters for like £40. I don't know, doesn't make sense to me. So AC1, link below for your trunking. It's much cheaper. Let's pull this back. So this is the other side of my van. Like I said, did the racking myself, very proud of the racking. Serves a purpose. Doesn't look pretty, but you don't need it to look that pretty when you're sort of working on yourself, working by yourself, sorry. So up here, I've just got a sort of fixtures and fittings box. At the moment, it only has screws in it. I don't really know why. I rarely use screws. It's all sort of bolts and fixings for the plasterboard and that sort of thing. I've got my small power tools in here. So in here, if we open this up, I've got my combi drill, a impact driver, and an impact wrench. This was the only one bought from WSM Fasteners. These two were hand-me-downs. Well, actually, no, sorry. The impact driver was a hand-me-down. The combi was mine from a different job. I haven't used the impact wrench yet. I'm hoping I will do soon, but I just use those two. Those are the most used tools in my toolbox. Then in here, I've got two 5 amp hour batteries and one smaller 1.5 amp hour battery, which I don't even think they make anymore because it's so small. It's not even worth having it. So that's in there. These toolboxes were also bought from WSM Fasteners. Really handy to use. Really durable. I definitely recommend those. This is my corded SDS. I love it. It's the best. Definitely get one of those. You definitely need one of those for going through. You can get by using the battery powered one, but it was so slow. I thought I was going to quit. Pretty much, it was that bad. So definitely get a corded one. Other tools that I've got a Sawzall, got a multi-tool, that battery powered SDS, which I've now given away, an angle grinder, and I think that's it. So those are the ones I've got. I haven't used the angle grinder, but I might need it someday. Haven't really used the Sawzall either, but the multi-tool is good for cutting well, anything really. It's perfect, but I use it mostly for cutting the trunking. Actual AC tools now. I've got my vacuum pump here. Definitely need one of those for the installs. For doing an AC install, all you need really is a vacuum pump, your OFN nitrogen, oxygen-free nitrogen. You need some gauges, which I'll show you now. If I can reach them. Need some gauges, which sort of links everything together. Let's hook those up. I'll talk about those in a second. So yeah, you need your vacuum pump, gauges, and your OFN to really get by on an install. That's the only actual sort of engineering tools you need. So you install the whole kit. You then pressure test all of the work you've just done. Do your leak test and your pressure test to manufacturer specification. For me, it's like 40 bar. which is really quite high pressured. But it means you're always going to find a leak if there is one. And then if you do, use your spray, find, oh, there's a bit of bubbles coming out of it, nip it up a little bit more. You're actually meant to back down the nitrogen first before you do that. But then nip it up a little bit more, test it again. And if it holds, then you're halfway there to charging the system. Once you've done that, release all of the nitrogen out. Remember, the air is about 80% nitrogen, so there's no global warming potential with that. Hook up your vacuum with your micron gauge. Leave it on there. When it's below 2,000 microns, then you know the system's safe, ready to use. There's no debris in the system, there's no moisture in the system, and you're ready to go. Lock it off, turn it off, charge the system, and you're done. You can then turn the system on via the remote and let it go through its first load of settings. I do have a recovery unit there, which was given to me by my engineering friend that gave me the scales. This is actually a R410A, which I don't really use R410A, so I'm really appreciative that he's given it to me, because they are quite expensive, but I've never used it. I'm going to have to get my own R32 refrigerant one, because R32 has is mildly flammable, so you need one without spark, if that makes sense. Same with this is an R32 JVac actually, vacuum pump, so there's no spark in that, so it's not going to ignite the refrigerant. These are also R32. R32 gauges just means that because it's much higher pressure, you can the gauges can take the higher pressure. If you use a different one, it just might go all the way around, so you won't know what pressure you're reading. I've also got a recovery tank in here and a R32 tank in here. So the R32 is full and the recovery tank is empty, so that's what you use to recover refrigerant when I've got a recovery machine. And then use the scales and the full refrigerant tank to then put the refrigerant back into the system. Pretty straightforward, pretty simple. Up here I've got all of my cavity wall fixings. Oh, that's what they're called. This is what I was on about. So they go in the wall, that gun goes on it, and then those spread out. So that's where I keep all of my fixings and a bit of oil as well for my vac pump. So yeah, that's everything this side. I'm just going to go grab some bits from the other side and that'll wrap us up. Okay, I didn't actually grab anything else from the other side. My other two toolkits are back there with all of the extra bits that you don't really think about needing. So all of the SDS drill bits, like a small saw, and everything else that you don't think about when you're sort of pricing everything up for when you first buy your kit. But that's really where the money was. I think in total, I've spent about £3,500 on tools. They're all insured now as well, which is a must. But yeah, about £3,500 for all of my tools, all of the bits and everything. I'm pretty sure, apart from the vac pump, apart from the recovery unit, I've got everything that I need now, and the soldering iron, to do jobs to a high standard and get by on my own without needing having to go to the shop to get something else and that sort of thing. So yeah, £3,500, and the van and my public liability insurance, it all piles up. I think in total with everything, deposit with the van, I think I've spent about £5,000 to start my business, including sort of SWCC kit as well. So yeah, I hope this gave some insight into starting a AC install business. If you've got any questions, if you've got any comments, please put them in the comment section below. This is my first time doing a video, so please be nice to me. Any suggestions, anything you'd like to see, write a comment below. So yeah, thank you very much. Thanks for watching.